I'm excited that you're joining because today we're discussing obviously a really important moment in women's history. It's the FDA has removed the black label on our hormone replacement therapy, the kind that actually would have helped women through all different stages of life, but it's actually even so much more.
I've been actually doing hormone therapy for patients since 2017. So I've already been offering these hormones. It's just the traditional system wasn't really recognizing these therapies because
Right.
of studies that were done in the past that were flawed that stated that they could be harmful, but they're not. So now finally they're becoming more mainstream.
Important thing that everyone's talking about is the 2002 study that came out, and the data was misinterpreted. And from that point on, I think roughly it said 79% drop of these treatments. As you said, that actually did not cause all the things that they said it did to invoke fear.
Yeah.
What does that really mean in terms of the big picture shift now? What's going to happen now, doctor?
So, hormones, bioidentical hormone therapy doesn't cause cancer and it doesn't, cause dementia and it doesn't cause, anything that it kind of was said to have caused. It actually just helps you age better and live better, especially when you're going through like these hormonal shifts as you
Right.
age. Bioidentical hormone therapy can really help you feel still vital, feel healthy, feel energetic, kind of feel like yourself. Because we haven't gone through menopause yet, but menopause is definitely a time where women experience major shifts and things like hot flashes, vaginal dryness, brain fog, hair loss, fatigue, etc. And all of that can be really mitigated with bioidentical hormone replacement therapy.
I was going to tell you a story. I remember it's interesting 2002 for for us, that's the year after we graduated high school. So our this is the shift literally from the education that our
Yeah.
mothers were given to the education that we were given. And I remember actually seeing that one time, one product and never again. And that it really was the message that it was dangerous, that it was taken off the market as an option for women. And I really think it's an interesting time that removing the fear and allowing a space for women's health in and around that time and thereafter you went to medical school, and
Mhm.
part of this discussion about menopause and then again now all these different therapies that are available that for this 20-year period was just fear in messaging that it'll harm you. What happened for you and your medical education around menopause, perimenopause, these terms? And what does it mean now that we're having this discussion that's so open and supported by science?
Traditional medical school, they don't really teach you about menopause and perimenopause. You learn about menopause briefly, but it's not something that's like gone in depth. It's more of a specialty. I did additional training on hormones after I finished residency and fellowship. Everything's changing and people are more aware now. Things can work different between men and women, and the studies have heavily been focused on male participants. And now things have shifted, and menopause and perimenopause are taken more seriously and acknowledged. I think in the past, maybe women were considered hysterical or crazy or
Right.
unreasonable
Absolutely.
for having these like shifts. Totally. I think now women going through menopause have a lot of resources, but I'd say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, they did not, which is really unfortunate. They didn't have any support, no resources. There wasn't education on it. Men didn't know, women didn't know, doctors didn't know. And now, more and more people are learning about it. Women are learning about it. Doctors are learning about it. Doctors have always been able to prescribe these hormones, but a lot of them just didn't because they didn't have the education on it. So hopefully now with the FDA removing that sort of stigma or that ban, or not ban, but more like the warning on hormones, now more doctors will get trained on menopause therapies and will be able to provide different type of hormonal therapies for women going through perimenopause and menopause. And you want to start like early. You want to start when you're young. Like you don't want to like wait until you hit menopause to start. You want to start before. So kind of like you should start considering you should check your hormones, like pretty much in your 20s, I would say. Or
Wow.
Really depends. It depends, but you should get your, if you're in tune with your body and you really want to know what's going on.
Again, I only speak for myself, but I'm 42 and I'm again of this 20-year gap of where we even talk about it, let alone ask for help or identify it out loud that this is our experience, that potentially there could even be something that helps, that like you could talk to your doctor, that your doctor might be able to help you.
Yeah.
We come from like this, again, the real consequence is that our mothers, probably didn't have access or prescribe, or that's the generation. So our imprint of watching our mothers was, yeah, suffer through it. There's nothing to even talk about. Shh, shh, hush, hush. And I'm so
So
thrilled
weird. Yeah. It's
to
sad.
have doctors like you that are leading the way and promoting that there are other ways.
It's really life changing getting on these hormones, and it will like make your life better. It will help. The top things:
Yeah.
improvement in like vaginal dryness. So that can lead to painful intercourse. It can lead to recurrent like yeast infections and urinary infections. So improvement in the vaginal health, improvement in brain fog, improvement in memory loss, improvement in hair loss, improvement in weight gain, improvement in loss of libido, which is really important because that can happen, improvements in mood, protective against bone, disease like osteoporosis, osteopenia, protective against heart disease, just overall like keeping you as vital as can be. Doctors haven't really known about them or thought they were safe, which is kind of sad, but your traditional primary doctor is probably still not going to know how to treat this, and they're going to need to do additional training to learn more about, treating perimenopause and menopause. But definitely I would say a lot of chronic illness could have been prevented if people were treated. The study was flawed. People make mistakes. And so hopefully we're out of that, but it's going to take a while we're out of it in the sense that, like, now the FDA warning is removed, but it's going to take a while for some of the older doctors to kind of get trained. And then, for the curriculums in the schools to change and the fellowships for people to like catch on and learn and start prescribing. Like, everyone, experiences symptoms at different stages. You just want to always be as healthy as you can, eat well, exercise, take care of yourself. That should help make any transition like easier. But you definitely want to just be aware, and find like a integrative provider that can really help you through this.
What would you say to a woman that needs to advocate for herself because she's experiencing these things? What does
Depending on
she
what age
say? What
they
does she
are,
ask for?
they just want to check all their hormones: thyroid, estrogen, progesterone. Testosterone is really important in women too. And most primary doctors won't ever consider testing for testosterone in women. Checking where you are with your hormones at least once a year. In your 20s, maybe every few years. And then, in your
Wow.
30s, maybe once a year. 40s, definitely you want to check it once a year. A lot of the traditional doctors, again, they always miss checking the TPO, which is thyroid peroxidase antibody, which is something that's really important to check. It
Right.
can signify autoimmune thyroid disease. And for whatever reason, a lot of like the tradition, especially in Canada, like they're very like governed by the nationalized healthcare system. So I think they only check
Right.
maybe the TSH.
Preventative care. It's something, again, I focus on this all the time as far as longevity, because I'm pretty sure all of us now want to stay here as long as possible in a healthiest possible way. And so understanding that these are things that A, we should talk about, B, that we have access to. We always did, but again, we have access to. C, we should be talking about this actively, like make your phone call. That is where we are, what we need everyone to kind of know and take away, I suppose, for women, right? Make that phone call. Talk to your doctor.
Find the right doctor too.
Right.
Sometimes you have to make that switch if you don't have the right person who kind of understands how to help you. And sometimes you just got to pay out of pocket if the system isn't designed to help you,
And
which
so do
is
you
really
say
hard.
is that the same advice to any woman who is not experiencing symptoms, or if this is just, in in the event that you're experiencing symptoms, what is your
Well,
advice?
experiencing symptoms, that's different, but initially, you just want to always have a baseline of where you're at. Um, like in your 20s, you can check it every few years. Unless there's something going on, then you might want to check more often. But maybe 20s and 30s every few years. Depends on like if you're experiencing symptoms, then you definitely want to get it checked. You want to get everything checked, but it's hard to say like what to check unless I know like what the symptoms are and what the patient's, experiencing. But um getting a grip of your own health is so important because you can't expect your doctor to um be responsible for your health. You shouldn't you should be responsible for your own health and your doctor is just there to help. But that's not how it works.
I just think that this is such an incredible conversation to be having right now because it truly is one of the worst things you can do is shame someone and or make them afraid. And I feel with regards to prioritizing ourselves as women and caring for ourselves, and also, again, what you were saying is you have to own your health and you also have to,
Yeah.
demand what is acceptable and what is, reasonable. What's a
Right?
reasonable standard of care here? And what you demand
Yeah.
for yourself has to be, something that you claim because, yeah, the doctors are here to help us facilitate what it is. You're the boss, of like what goes down in the
Yeah.
end.
People are becoming more like health literate. So understanding how to take care of themselves and being really in tune with your body is super important. And, it might take some time to figure that out. But I would say, exercise, eating well, getting good sleep, all of that will help you become more in tune with your body.
Number one thing, for the number one thing that you can do in your life is exercise to prevent all kinds of disease. The
Oh my
more
gosh,
you
seriously.
exercise, the more your brain
Seriously.
rewrites and rewires.
Ugh,
But
for
truly, it
real.
is life's medicine, and if you just move your body, everything, kind of falls into place, and it's just part of the equation you really truly can't ignore.
Yep, exactly.
It's
And I
amazing.
wish more people would understand that, but yeah, that's hard to get people to exercise.
Definitely a strength training. I like heavy weights. I love a good squat. I love a good deadlift. I am a thruster. I'm a hinge. I like those, real functional patterns of movement to build strength because I like to
Love
feel
that.
like a superwoman. Thank you very much. I'm so excited that you joined the podcast. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for having me again. And I hope this information is useful to everybody who listens. And obviously, if they have any questions, they can find me on Instagram, Dr. Rahi MD.
I will chat to you soon and thank you again.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you
Okay.
soon. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.